Good morning, Danielle. I am very happy to have you here at the gallery, Curator's Voice, our project, as one of my chosen artists for my curatorial projects. We would love for you to start explaining us what is it that you did to start in the photography field.
Well, it's really been an evolution that started with a very strong desire, a passion to try to find a way to better convey the experience that I was having when I was in beautiful places, special places, great places in nature and elsewhere. I experimented in panoramic photography, I experimented in high dynamic range photography, and ultimately I put those techniques together and found an effective way to not only capture that data, but also how to assemble it, and then, very importantly, present it in a way that created that emotional impact.
I see here a connection to romanticism in the art history. How do you connect your landscape to previous painters or creators in your work when you do it?
My inspiration in the art world first and foremost started with the great romantic landscape painters, the Hudson River School painters and the great European romanticists that came before them. I think that their scenes, some of which were very large, you go to museums and you'll see 12-foot wide landscape paintings that take your breath away and, like mine, make you feel like you're there. Just really impressed me a lot as a child, and I think drove a lot of my desire to create that sort of thing on my own. When photography came along in the mid-1800s, it's interesting, I think those painters were perhaps a little threatened. You know, suddenly you have a device that could actually capture the photons of what that scene has to show. But in truth, it was a bit of a step back, because the limitations of the film, the lenses, the resolution, the color wasn't there. It was a bit of a step back in some ways. But perhaps this is the reason, for one reason or another, the art world started to move into less representational and more impressionistic and expressive landscape paintings, which was a good thing. It was great. And people like J.M.W. Turner started doing that very early on in the early 1800s. That evolution into more expressive ways to communicate a landscape experience is something that I feel Deep Dream really opened up for me. And it's like my evolution in the work I've been doing in the last 5 years is almost like a little microcosm of that evolution of landscape painting that happened in the 1800s. You saw it go from Thomas Cole and Asher B. Durand with their very realistic representational landscape paintings into the proto-impressionism of J.M.W. Turner, and then the true impressionism of Monet and his contemporaries, and on. That is kind of what that's sort of the arc that my work is taking itself right now.
I feel that all these details that you project in here go beyond the reality. How did you get those different waving lines that we see upon the closing into the scene?
For the last 4 years or so, 3.5, 4 years, the work that I was doing was very realistic. It was hyper-realistic, perhaps. It didn't have the crazy artificial intelligence-assisted details that are in my new work now. That was an evolution as well that came along when that technology came along from Google, the Deep Dream software. So what I realized and what became my mission when I saw that software, when I saw the results that some other people were having with that, I saw an opportunity to go to the next level. Deep Dream, with its ability to transform at a detail level what's inside a scene, enabled me to create a dualistic experience where from a distance, my work looks photographic, it looks immersive, it looks like the kind of scene you want to visit. So it draws you in, and when you pull close to it, you notice it has very unexpected, rich, crazy details. And this is something that I saw as that opportunity to create a cognitive experience, something that really gets your mind thinking. And so I feel like now I've come full circle, and I've managed to map or convey and communicate that transition that happens to you. The scene comes into your eyes, it goes to your gut, and then goes to your brain. And that's what I really tried to set out to do.